Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mythic League here at FOF Esports. I'm Raptor, joined today by Sherigan on the color desk, and we've got RLS versus Tub to kick off the day. How you doing, Sherigan?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a little awkward to be on the other side of the casting couch. I'm not exactly familiar sitting down right here. This is a little weird, but I think I'll be able to do this. I think we're good.
Yeah, we had to give everyone else a handicap by waiting to have you color cast until now because you're about to kill it. You're just about to slay this casting.
Yeah, it's always you gotta just kind of relax, take a deep breath, and just go with the flow and take things as they come, that sort of thing. So let's see. Just looking at the analysis here of these two teams, I'm really looking forward to seeing what RLS pulls out against Tub, just to see how they stack up because I believe that they are already out of the running for playoffs, so this is not going to be for a playoff game. And the Ugly Barnacles have already kind of established themselves as being kind of the monster of the league, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do some crazy experimenting or if they're going to go for a honorable destruction, I guess is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, and they've Tub, is one of I think the teams like if this is Pog, I think they would kind of mess around with RLS. But I think Tub actually just wants to get the win, get done with the day, enjoy the long weekend. But RLS also too, they've shown they can go toe to toe with these top teams. So there is still a chance that they just take this game. Either way, I think both these teams trying to end it fast. And fast though, what we're getting a little bit with these first picks, Thresh great to get things going in the early game, and a Nocturne. A little slow until level 6, and once it's level 6, just go, 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 go.
Yep, he is one of those nightmare assassin type of characters. So him in the jungle, I've really enjoyed just Nocturne plays in general, just because of how much utility he can bring to his team just by activating his ult, where basically unless you have vision of him ahead of time, you have no idea what lane he's going to be attacking. So everyone has to be on edge. Everyone has to kind of be careful. Seeing the hovered Rengar and the Xin Zhao pickup, though, Xin Zhao in the jungle is fantastic duelist, so I feel like that's going to put a lot of pressure on RLS, and Pengu is going to have to be really careful to not get invaded.
Yeah, the one downside though I would say to Xin Zhao is you always need something to follow it up with. So if he's the only thing kind of being the initiation for his team, it can kind of end badly for him. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen many a time that Xin Zhao just dive in and immediately get blown up. But if they get something to go in with him, it could be an absolute monster. His buffs recently have made him into quite the terror when he gets ahead. But it might be a little bit hard with that Alistar and Kaisa combo to really get onto any of these targets.
Yeah, with the Alistar Kai'Sa combo, that's a lot of disengage, a lot of escapes, and then Kai'Sa is more of a heavy engage with her ultimate, but that shield will provide her some extra survivability, which would be really useful during those team fights when she's getting engaged on. Good response would be the Twitch or the Samira, just because of the amount of, how do you describe it? Shutdown that's available. So basically, Samira's Blade Whirl is going to shut down everything that Kai'Sa tries to throw, from the missiles to the Void Shot. Just that Snipe is not going to be able to make a connection, which is going to prevent a lot of Kai'Sa's damage, because she needs to hit so many times in a row just to get that passive proc.
Yeah, and Samira is great for dueling Kaisa just because Kaisa's range is so short. She can get in pretty close to her. I don't think they're going to do it, but I just thought of it. I kind of wish they would Tub takes Xin Zhao top and grabs the Skarner. I don't know if you saw the video recently discussing all these Skarners and ult interactions, but he can actually pull a Nocturne out of his ult if you time it right. And I kind of want to see them try it, like just for fun.
I think that would be something fun to try. I have been seeing more Nocturnes or more Skarners lately. I've been playing a little bit of the Nexus Blitz, been really enjoying that. I do like these bans coming out from the side of Tub, where they're getting rid of the Anivia and the Zillion. Both picks would provide a lot of AP damage and a lot of zone control, and the Zillion ult is just something you don't really want to be dealing with whenever you're trying to burst down your targets, because it's basically a free GA every, 50 to 80 seconds?
Yeah, it's about that. But there you see the mid lane bans also coming out on the side of RLS. They've gotten rid of the Yone. I'm assuming they were thinking that was going to be Gragas top, so I'm going to be a top lane ban, but instead it's going to be the set for them and the Aurelia over to RLS and a Galio. So they've got a very nice team fight comp here. Very beefy, very kind of skirmishy. I like this. I like this comp out of RLS.
I do too, and we haven't seen the mid lane pickup for Tub yet, so I feel like Galio's a pretty safe bet because more than likely it is going to be an AP mid laner, although Tub could just decide, you know what, hey, let's go ahead and throw like a Talon or something into their mix, although that would not be the best choice, but the anti-mage Galio, that spell shield is going to be really useful. The Katarina pickup, ooh, I am just looking at that comp on Tub, it has some scary elements to it, to be sure.
Yeah, it's very much a snowball comp. It's trying to get ahead early and just run away with the game. Like we said, if Tub wants to win, they just want to win it fast, get through. So playing through these champions, playing through the Samira, playing through the Katarina, getting them leads, that could end this pretty quickly. But I feel like the Katarina is almost a counter pick to itself. Like they counterpick themselves against the Galio because, you know, Katarina ults and Galio just immediately uses W and she's out of her pulled out of her ultimate. So
Exactly.
a little surprised by that. However, it can go AD. I have seen Katarinas recently building Kraken Slayer, which sounds really weird, but it's actually really dirty because they made her ult affect basic attacks, if I recall correctly. So like she could just run AD Katarina. I don't think so because there's so much AD elsewhere, but that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of AD elsewhere, and I feel like it's one of those potential item shifts that they could do, just because of the fact that you're expecting the AP cat, so you start building for the AP cat, and then it's only too late when you notice, oh, she's actually going AD, and so you're kind of messed up some of your build on the early game. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this matchup between Anti and Wutan because we're going to have that set Aurelia matchup, which is just always going to be fun to watch. I'm really hoping that it goes well in their favor, and I do like that there's not a Wukong pickup because that would be nasty.
Yeah, I'm so glad there's no Wukong here. But we'll have to see how these two teams do as we get on to the Rift for our first game of the day, RLS versus Tub. Excited start. Pretty solid basic start right now. Pengu spotting out Ryer going right in already. You got a duel off, not even the first minute into the game, and Pengu's going to back off. It's really hard. Both these are actually really good dueling champions, but I feel Xin Zhao has the better of the early game, which might be what he's going to try to exert his pressure on the on RLS's jungle with. I think Ryer might try to run into Pengu Soldier a lot early on. Ooh, hang on, a hook on to MK Strom. He's trying to run out there. He's getting pretty low. Lazy Ostrich is on the side looking to maybe go in, but he sees the Gallier escorting him out. He's going to back off. A lot of trades early on. I'm liking this. I'm liking this skirmish, like this desire to get into a fight early on. Yeah, like we said, Tub wants to get early leads.
Tub definitely wants to get those early leads, and one thing that was really nice about RLS is they held onto their summoner spells. We didn't see Kai'Sa flash. She was able to just walk out, holding onto it for as long as possible, which means that going into this bot lane, yeah, she's going to be a little late, but she shouldn't miss too much farm. She's going to be in a pretty good spot. We did see a lot of damage coming out from Xin Zhao whenever he was engaging in on that Nocturne, which is something that Pengu's going to have to be really careful of once he sees Xin Zhao invading his jungle.
Yeah, especially with that early combo, or that new combo from the buffs he got recently, where he can now dash and at an extended range if he hits someone with his W. So Nocturne's got to be extra careful if he's not able to take him early on. Anti and Wutan getting into a little bit of a fight up here on the top side. Anti getting pretty low already. He's gonna walk out, be fine for now, but you know, Wutan already trying to exert his presence on the top side of the map.
So I think if we're looking at this Aurelia Set matchup just from the get-go, if Set controls the fight, if he initiates it, it's going to go in his favor more than likely because Aurelia takes time to build up those fervor stacks without being able to get off her auto attacks. If she keeps getting stunned by the Facebreaker, it's going to be a situation where Anti's just going to be behind in the fight and Set's just going to keep pumping out damage to putting him really far behind, making it really difficult for Anti to come out ahead.
Yeah, now with that, also with that pressure is getting, he's able to go down there and get that ward in the blue side jungle. And, you know, that's going to help out Ryer. He's going to be able to find where Pengu is. He does spot him now. And Anti getting very low already in this duel. Gets the Conquerors to the full stack. The punch coming through almost takes Anti. And now Pengu trying to rotate up here to help out. Looks like he's just going to finish the buffs off. May try to get that farm for his top laner and be able to hold that for a bit. But you know, that wasn't bad for Anti. Yeah, he got forced out, but he did get quite a bit of damage in that trade.
He got quite a bit of damage, but he took so much from those punches, just from the double punch and the Q from Set, that the Haymaker very nearly killed him.
Yeah, and speaking of kills, we might see one here in the bottom lane. Jack Xander getting ignited, getting low. He's going to get away, though. Lamar has nothing to follow up with. And Grumpy also looking a little low right here. It was a pretty big burst on the bot lane of RLS. It's a lot of, like we said, it's just skirmish and skirmish everywhere. And first blood may come sooner than we think.
I think it probably will, just because these teams, RLS specifically, they like to play really aggressive, and Tub is kind of expecting that, so they're trying to play into that. Thresh has got little mana, like very little mana at the moment, because they've been engaging so hard. But at the same time, so does MK Strom, so they're kind of at an even spot in that lane. Right there, almost missing that, like just barely missing that stun. You got to make sure you're hitting those if you're a rally. You got to make sure that you're keeping up your forward stacks in order to really be able to keep up with this set.
Yeah, as someone who recently tried to get more into it, really, I can completely attest that if you're not hitting those E's, you're basically dead. And speaking of dead, Jack Xander's going to die right here as he tries to get the knockup, flashes away, tries to get the headbutt, but he slams right into the spear and gores himself. Ryer picks up the first blood.
See, that was just probably a little bit of lack of awareness on the map. We do have Aurelia Anti's pushed up quite a bit. He knew that he was probably safe, so they probably assumed that Ryer was on the bot side, and they were just pushed. The Alistar was too separated from his Kai'Sa, which allowed that to happen.
Wutan now and Anti dueling up in the top side. Anti getting low again. Thought Wutan might want to chase that a little bit more. But yeah, you know, that awareness from Jack and MK Strom, they've got to be more aware of that Jin Zhao. Again, you don't want him to get a lead. He will snowball it pretty hard, especially into this comp that is in pretty close range, which, you know, where he excels at. So they're gonna have to find either some counter ganks, or they're gonna have to try to find some deeper vision just to make sure they aren't getting flanked like that again.
Not to keep putting Anti down, but he is doing very well in those fights. He was able to avoid most of the damage from that Haymaker getting out of the center to make sure that he didn't get hit by that. He's got to keep, as long as he keeps that up, staying out of that range, you got to make sure that you're paying attention to your map, though, and are aware of where the enemy team is. Ocean Drake is up right now. We're probably not going to see an early Drake, but we've already got roams coming out from Lamar the Lizard. Something we've seen him do quite regularly. He's already got boots. Doesn't have the Mobies yet, but it's probably going to be on his next back. Alistar as well. And I expect to see a lot of roaming out of both this Alistar and the Thresh just to try and get their other lanes ahead, because they are all very early game comps.
Yeah, Lamar's already kind of wandered a bit towards mid lane, and I agree with those Mobies up. It's going to be roams, which means it's going to be kills all over the rest of the map. I would expect to see either first blood in mid or top lane in that regard. Or I guess we already saw first blood. The next blood, second blood,
Yep.
in top or mid lane, coming up shortly as soon as those boots go live. But you know, I'm looking right now at the junglers, and Pangu, well, you know, he is down a little bit because he doesn't have a kill. He's actually keeping up pretty well despite that early, you know, a little bit of setback from that trade he took. And now Anti and Wutan duking it out again, but Pangu is here. Anti is baiting him, and now here he comes, goes for the ult coming through, tries to ult away, Wutan does, and he's just gonna get out. I feel like Pangu could have flashed for that one.
Probably could have, but it would have been really risky to do so because you do have Ryer and the Lazy Ostrich already coming up here.
Yeah, Ryer's gonna... Oh, is he gonna get him? No, he's not. Pangu is gonna take out Ryer. Beautiful ult from Burbs Aren't Real to buy time for Anti to get out there, and they get on the board. They're keeping this game pretty close so far.
So far, so good. We are seeing a lot of really good rotations coming out from RLS. They are kind of trying to match what Tub's been doing, which is something that you got to make sure that you're doing against the Ugly Barnacles. Ryer getting caught out like that's going to send him behind a little bit, I think, but it's probably not going to be as bad as it could have been. It did cost quite a bit, though, for them to get it. It's the Flash and the TP both out of Aurelia, and the Flash is out of set.
Yeah, now Lazy Ostrich taking a bit of a trade there in the mid lane. Burbs is actually dominating pretty hard in this lane matchup so far. He's ahead in CS. He's been able to roam faster, obviously, because of the Galio ult. You know, this is going pretty well for RLS. This is a very solid start for this team. And, you know, the last time we saw them have such a solid start, it was against Baby, and they did get a win off of that. And that, I mean, I remember at the time it was a really big upset. You know, we might be in for another one today. We might be in for an upset from RLS if they can keep this pace up.
We might be in for an upset. I'm really looking forward to it if that's what we get. Lamar, though, has been hitting these hooks on a fairly regular basis. Admittedly, not necessarily where he's able to do a lot with them, but just the constant pressure is really important as Thresh. They do have a great vision control, though. If we look at the bot side river, there's nowhere Nocturne can go in that river and not be spotted.
Yeah, and until, he is level 6, but his range isn't the longest yet. I think it gets a little bit longer when he hits level 11, but until that point, he has to get close for it, and keeping that vision up, unless he's going through the river, I don't think they're ever going to be able to really get a kink off in this bottom lane. MK Strom just barely dodges that hook. That probably would have been his death sentence if he'd been hit. And I see more trading going on the top side maps. Pretty standard, just farming pattern right now. Anti taking a really big trade there. The ult coming in from Wutan. He's getting super low. I think the shield's going to come out. The punch comes through, and Wutan picks up the kill.
And that is exactly what I was talking about. We had the face breaker where he's just running behind the minion wave, which it's like running from a Yasuo when you try to run from Set. You've got to be very aware of where your minions are, and you got to make sure that you're not in a position where Set can grab them and you.
Strom gets hit there, has to flash out, and Jack Xander trying to buy him some space, but the ult coming through from Crumpy, the heal coming out from Strom. They also get the flash out of Jack Xander right there. Good couple summoners burned by Tub against RLS, and they might try to go for a dive here. I guess they're too heavy on it, but the hook coming through again from NK Strom. The knockup though from Jack Xander. Lamar taking a lot of turret shots. MK Strom looking for it, gets the ult in. He's not going to pick it up though. Now Crumpy's looking for something right here. He's going to take down MK Strom. He's going to run away from Jack Xander and get out of dodge. Excellent play there. Almost went in RLS's favor though.
So what happened right there, I don't know if you noticed it, was RLS had burned all 4 of their summoners. And on the side of Tub is Samira and Thresh both had all of theirs. So whenever they started that engage, Thresh was able to get his Ignite off, was able to flash out of the tower range in order to avoid taking a 3rd tower shot. And then the heal came out from Samira, which kept him alive through that Kai'Sa ultimate. And it's like, I was shocked. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I really thought that they were going to pick up Lamar there, but the turnaround, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Crumpy is getting those leads, and on a Samira, she can do surprisingly well at the melee range because of the swipe from her Q and because of her ultimate and ability to dodge any sort of skill shot coming her way with her W. So, good. It was a smart play, smart move, and it might be another smart play right here as Lamar goes for it onto Jack Xander. Jack Xander gets the knockup. He flays him back, though, going for it, but here comes Pengu diving in with the ultimate going onto him, but Crumpy ults back, and now Wutan is here. The whole squad. Wutan gets the ult, dunks out of there. Lazy Ostrich picks up Jack Xander, and now Burbs is stuck behind with 4. Anti trying to help him get away, but Burbs is going to go down. A double kill going over to Lazy Ostrich. Anti is on the run, but his time is short. Lazy Ostrich looking for something here. Strom trying to do a bit of a trade right here. Got to be careful. And Anti going down. He is going to go down to Crumpy. Ryer wasn't even there for that fight. 2-0 in favor of Tub.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those things. So Jack Xander's really got to be careful with his movement speed as Alistar, because you are a gigantic hitbox and you do not move very quickly. So it is very easy for the Thresh to hit you with a hook. He's been taking a lot of free ones of those. And one thing I didn't notice up until just now is the fact that they have 2 or 3 AoE ults on the side of Tub. So you've got the Xin Zhao circular block ult on him, and then you've got the blades coming out from Katarina, and then you've got the bullet storm coming out from Samira. So that's an ability for Tub to just dive in onto that backline and just absolutely decimate it with once those ultimates are available.
Yeah, and you've even got a bit of AoE on Lamar with his Death Cage, and you've got even some with Wutan. When his ult dunks, that's some AoE too. So it's just AoE after AoE after AoE with this team, and the damage might not be super high individually, but to combine it, it'll just shred through it. Anti looking to dive on Wutan, but he's not. Also, pardon me, I meant 3 kills last fight, not 2. Forgot about Jack Xander dying there. Speaking of dying, Anti getting engaged on by Ryer. Burb's here to try to buy him some space. Wutan going forward, gets the grab. Anti on the run, but Pangu is here. Anti is going to fall, though. And now Pangu and Burb's looking to go in, but they see Ostrich. They're trying to run away. Wutan is still on the hunt. Pangu trying to buy some time with the fear. Gets pulled back, though, with the whole team. Gets the shield up. It's not going to matter. Burbs goes down to Ryer, and now they're chasing Pangu. Gets the ult down to try to buy him some space. Uses the ult to get back over, but it's not going to matter. Lazy Ostrich picks up the killing. Goes on a killing spree. A 3-0 for Tub, and they might be looking for some more here on the bottom side.
Tub is already started to take control of this game. They've already got a lot of pressure, and what RLS needs to do is they need to find a way to either stop the hemorrhaging or just start putting pressure on these side lanes. You've got to start getting either... I don't think they can take on Crumpy and Lamar the Lizard. The Samira Thresh combo is just so nasty, so they've got to focus on this top side. Get Wutan's tower, because we've seen Anti do decently well in these solo fights. So what they've got to do is they've got to get Nocturne up there, they've got to get Galio up there, try and force a fight to where they're able to take out Wutan and then take that tower down, freeing Aurelia up to go to another lane and start making plays across the map.
Yeah, and she can be quite an X factor. If Pangu can't get sign going, I think Anti can. Like you said, Aurelia is a pretty good playmaker right there. There's a lot of playmaking on the top half of RLS's side. And, you know, we saw Crumpy there use his ultimate. I was going to say, like, well, that's kind of odd to use. I'm like, all right, it's got, like, no cooldown. So he can use it just to clear the wave, back off, come back. He's got his full shield bow already, so he is going to be pretty deadly in this matchup.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of CC available for RLS. You've got the taunt from Galio. You've got the duet from Aurelia, where you can basically stun the entirety of Tub, and they've got to take advantage of that in order to really start coming out of these fights, because they've already started to fall behind. They've got to try and get these picks. If Tub wants to win this, though, what they're probably going to end up doing here shortly is just start roaming as a 5-man death ball. Once they start doing that, their team is just designed in such a way that they dive on the backline and just pop the squishies so fast that there's very little for them to do in response.
Yeah, and RLS needs to really do their best to prevent that, try to get pressure around the map so that even if that death ball picks up 1 or 2 people, they're still getting objectives elsewhere. That's usually the counter with some split pushing. Burb's going in on the Lady Ostrich, but here comes Ryer, picks it up. Lazy Ostrich grabs a rampage.
That's such an that's a thing you don't want to see, because Burbs thought he was alone in lane with the Katarina, thought it was a solo fight. He didn't have the vision of the Xin Zhao and the Thresh in the side lanes, or if he did, he just ignored it, and that's something you can't be making that mistake at this point in the game. Mid lane is already going to be cracked down two turrets, probably that.
Going down to Ryer, goes on a killing spree. Just as you said, they can't be positioned there. Pangu walks too far forward into Lamar, and now Wutan looking for Anti. Ooh,
exactly.
Wait, hang on. Is MK going to grab this here? No, he's going to get ulted by Crumpy, trying to run away. Crumpy goes on a killing spree, picks him up too, and now he's on to Jack Xander. He might just keep this up. Meanwhile, on the top side, Wutan going on to Anti. Anti trying to run, but he's just going to get socked in the face. He goes down to Jack Xander is going to fall to Lazy Ostrich as he goes unstoppable. They're going to grab this bot turret, and they're just killing everyone all over the map.
You know, it's really unfortunate that you can't just self-destruct your turrets and have the enemy minions spawn at a faster rate so that you can get them shoving into your base a little bit harder, because what RLS really needs to do right now is they need to basically be hugging their second tier turrets and just farming up as much as possible, because there is no way for them to really even venture out alone. They've got to be roaming as a group now at this point, and because there's just so much kill pressure available to Tub that unless they somehow magically catch someone out, RLS is going to be farming from the back foot at this point.
And they're probably going to continue to be on the back foot, especially as this Drake goes down. 2 dragons over. It's going to be Infernal Soul this time. Definitely what...
That's not what you want to see if you're RLS.
Yeah, if you're Tub, though, that's exactly what you want. Pangu spotted out Lazy Ostrich. Now he's just going to sneak in to try to steal some jungle camps for himself. Get the little scraps he can. As Strom's trying to back. Lazy Ostrich is looking for him, though. Anti is here, too. Lazy Ostrich does get some daggers in. He's trying to dash onto him, but Anti is locking him down. Here comes the ult from Pangu. They're trying to spins to win, takes a dominating kill there, but gets shut down by Pangu. That's a big pickup for RLS.
That is a fantastic pickup. That's taking advantage of your opponent's hubris as they decide, hey, you know what? We're so far ahead, we can totally do this, and you just three-man gank them. It's like they've been doing that to RLS this whole time. Now RLS has had the opportunity to get at least one kill, getting a bunch of shutdown gold. Unfortunately, it went on to the Nocturne. The Nocturne's going to eventually fall off, and you really need to have that gold going on to either the Kai'Sa or the Aurelia, because those are going to be your win conditions at this point if you're RLS.
Burbs gets Saitama into the face, and he's gonna fall too. Got caught out there by Wutan. Wutan is just dominating in these 1v1s right now. Pangu's trying to buy some space on this turret, try to clear this out. But I agree, I wouldn't want to give those kills down. I'd want to give it to the Aurelia or the Kai'Sa, but now the hook onto Pangu. And get that gold back. Going forward, Anti looking to grab onto Ryer. Ryer uses the ult, trying to duel onto Anti. Anti has to flash out after getting ignited. The headbutt coming in from Jaxander. The ult has dropped. They could go in right now. There are only 3 right here. No one else to help there to contest. MK Strom goes in. They go out to get to Ryer. Ryer getting so low. It's a shot for Anti. And now they continue on. The punch coming from Wutan. Wutan has to flash. Jaxander going forward. Strom can't go in, doesn't have the ult, but they do get a kill. It takes a lot, but Crumpy, he's on the top side. He's already taking this inhibitor turret, and I don't think they're going to get to him. Lazy Ostrich has roamed down. He's looking for Pangu. He's going to try to grab him. Fear coming through. It's not going to be enough, though. Yeah, not at all. Lazy Ostrich picks up him another kill, gets the vengeance. And now Anti's here with Ostrich too. Gotta dodge those daggers. The stun comes in. Beautiful. He gets the kill. Ostrich grabs him, but the shutdown again. And now Crumpy looking for something here too. Getting knocked up. Goes into the ultimate, trying to grab one, grabs 2 almost. Is going to grab him. He is going to grab Strom. And now Burbs is trying to stop him, but he's going to go down. A triple kill over to Crumpy. As you know, they tried to 3v1, but you can't 3v1 a 6-0 Samira.
So the way those fights played out, RLS did a great job getting a lot of those picks. The Xin Zhao pick, the Katarina pick. The problem is they stayed in those fights a little bit too long. They didn't back and get items, and so they didn't have the opportunity to actually turn the gold that they had into an advantage. It was basically just sitting in their wallets, burning a hole in their pocket. So when they engaged on this Samira, the people they needed to be fighting weren't actually present. And so unfortunately, Samira, who's 6-0 at this point, you really can't treat them the same way you would treat a Katarina. A Katarina can be CC'd enough where they're not going to be able to get their damage out just by the nature of their abilities. But a Samira wants to be in the fray, wants to be getting those combos up and continually pumping out that ultimate because it has almost no cooldown.
Yeah, unless you have Pangu there to like fear her so that she just goes right out of the ultimate, there's really no way to be able to duel, I think, this Samira right now. Speaking of it, Pangu, what are you doing? Walks forward, tries to go in, and just goes down immediately. Crumpy goes godlike. That was a little bit of an odd play right there.
I feel like it's a situation where RLS is just...
Anti might be going down too, trying to get something out of this, but he's not. Gonna get slain by Ryer. Baited by Pangu.
What I was going to say is I feel like RLS thought that they were back in this game getting those kills, but the thing is, you're 4 kills to 23 at this point. The gold lead is almost an 11k gold lead. It's so heavily in Tub's favor that those kills are mostly just because of the fact that Tub overstayed, and they basically gave them to you for free. And so they really shouldn't be thinking, oh, we actually got those kills because we're good. They should think, oh, we got lucky enough to get those kills. Let's back off so that we don't give up more deaths and more gold.
Yeah, and maybe he did see the Xin Zhao, so maybe he just thought it was one, but as soon as they all show up, you got to get out of there. And now RLS, they really are on the back foot here. The Baron is already on Tub's side. They've got Dragon coming up in about 15 seconds, so that will put them on Soul Point. And if I think this does go to Soul, I don't think the game will if Tub just closes it out. But if it does go to Soul and they grab that, it is over. It's just completely over at that point. You dealing with a Samira and a Katarina with Infernal Soul, that just sounds just horrible to deal with.
We like to say that there's always a way back. There's always a way into these games. Unfortunately, in this sort of a situation with these team comps, I don't think that's actually going to happen. And it has nothing to do with the champs. It's just merely a draft situation because there's just not enough hard CC on the side of RLS.
Pangu going in, trying to fear. Ryer does get the flea. Hook coming through. It is going to hit Strom. They're going to knock him back. The dunk coming through, though, actually, I think saved him, but it's going to be a kill onto the Aurelia, a kill onto the Galio, and now a kill onto the cow. Some hamburger steak for Tub. Nice, delicious meal to kind of end this game with. Pengu trying to buy some space, try to get some clearing, but he's not going to be able to do anything here. It's just him and Strom. The inhibitor is going down, and I think Tub may push for the end here. They're going to get this top mid inhibitor.
Yeah, no, Tub's definitely going to push to the end right here if they're looking for it. They've got the minion wave, they've got the abilities, they've got 2 inhibitor turrets. There's very little, if anything, that
Pengu goes down again. Strom trying to run. Ooh, the taunt to stop Crumpy's ultimate. I do think it is getting close to the bag. The ult coming in from the Galio. They're trying to blow up Wutong. Wutong getting solo, but the Falcon Punch comes through. They're going to grab one. They're going to grab the Galio. They're going to grab Strom. They're going to grab the turret, and they're going to grab this Nexus, end the game. Anti getting super low right there, too. Are they going to try for a Nexus dive? Fountain dive? Nah, they're just going to walk away. Actually, they're just going to pick up Jack Xander first. Complete the hamburger steak helping, and take this game 30-4.
Yeah, that's kind of a way that we expected this game to go. Just because of the nature of both these teams playing very early game comp, or very aggressive comps that wanted to fight a lot and fight early. There's so much more damage and mobility available for the side of Tub, though, that it just was no response was really available for RLS, unfortunately.
Yeah, and look at that damage from Crumpy and Wutong in this game. They are the big threats, the big carries, the big kahunas, and they just tore through it. Crumpy, the 1v3 was amazing, but even Wutong, no, he was taking 1v1 fights all over the map and just kind of dragging RLS to where he wanted them to be, away from the rest of his team or into traps. And I think it worked. I think it worked really well. And with this win, Tub has locked in first place. No one can catch him at this point. Everyone only has 2 games left at most, and you know the next closest team is at 9-2 right now, or 9-2. So they've locked it in. They'll have their pick at the end of this weekend of who they want in the first round. And you know if they pull a game out like this tomorrow, I think they're going to be walking into playoffs as just terrifying for whoever their opponents are going to be.
Yeah, no, Tub's going to definitely have first pick of who it is that they want to go up against. And unfortunately, this is goodbye for RLS. We appreciate having them here. Like, I don't think they do have a game tomorrow. And with that game, what they're going to be able to do is try and upset. I don't remember exactly who they're playing against, but they can still have a potential to upset the placements of some of the other teams. They've been doing a fantastic job, and the amount of growth that we saw out of them this season was absolutely fantastic. And unfortunately, I think this is just a matter of the slightly better macro play coming out from the side of the Ugly Barnacles just really put them ahead.
Indeed. Well, with that, we're going to go to a short break, but don't go anywhere. We've got an interview with Crumpy coming up right after this.
Hello, everyone! Chris Edgeworth here for the first interview of the day, and I'm joined by Crumpy after that big win on Samira. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for letting us see that bit of a banger there. You guys pull out the fancy double Beyblades, and turn the Rift into Bay Stadium with the Samira Katarina. What was your thoughts on the draft you guys put together?
Yeah, well, coming into the game, my mid laner actually wanted to play Katarina a lot, so we kind of drafted this team comp so that we could play around the Katarina. But knowing RLS, they like to play that team fight, that wombo combo team fight. So when we got to the last pick, we saw their team and we were like wondering if Katarina was a good pick. And my mid laner was like, "Don't pick Katarina," but all of us, our teammates, our friends, we all had trust in him, so we just picked the Katarina for him, and it was just GG's from there.
You just gotta every now and then you just gotta trust your friends when they say, "Let me pick this champion that totally fucks our comp up." But
Yeah, exactly. Like we trust the lazy ostrich a lot on Katarina, so he's gonna be playing that a lot more often during our break, and he's gonna be practicing a lot more. So expect that to be played in the playoffs.
And I will definitely follow up on that in a second when we talk about your prep for playoffs. Let me ask you a little bit about the champion you pulled out in this matchup, Samira, which had a little bit of time in the olden days, old items, but is more or less a product of the so-called modern Season 11 League of Legends after they adjusted her passive a little bit. What do you think about Samira in the current meta and her build and just what are your thoughts on this champion?
I think Samira is still a pretty reliable, strong champion, but as long as you have a team comp that could enable Samira to go in, for example. Like for us, like our team comp in this game, we had a Xin Zhao and a set that will allow Samira to like not be focused a lot, since we also had a Katarina, so that way I could output a lot of damage into the team fight, basically. In terms of like as a champion, as an ADC, I don't generally like picking Samira just because I think she's fairly weak. But just in team fight and for a team comp, she's still strong.
Yeah, I mean, you were doing 1 trillion damage. It felt like there's quite a bit of you holding your own, a little 1v3 action here and there. So
yeah, definitely that 1v3 top lane. Yeah, I didn't expect them to all come top lane. I thought they were just gonna defend bot. But as soon as I saw Kai'Sa and then the Asar coming towards me, I was like, what are they doing? They're just gonna get a triple kill. So just from there, it was an easy triple kill, and I was already so fed and ahead that it was just done.
Yeah, well, it's just some money in the bank. Pimping ain't easy for you. So, well done in this game. Congrats to Tub. You guys, as was said on broadcast, secure an absolute first place, unassailable at this point. So, what are your, just calling it as it is? Like, you guys are, seems a little above the other competition as it stands right now in Mythic as we get ready to take a break and prep for playoffs.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing in your preparations to get ready for these matchups?
Well, to be honest, we're probably gonna look to scrim, but not a lot since we don't want to really give away a lot to the other teams. So we're probably just gonna be playing a lot of flex games together or normals just to get the synergy up with each other. But yeah, just play just a bunch of flex games with each other. So that's basically how we're just gonna practice for the playoffs.
Any chance you want to leak who you're planning on choosing? For
Oh
your first
man,
matchup?
I don't know. Well, I've been getting a lot of messages from like some top from the top 4 teams, and I've been telling them different answers every time. So they're just gonna have to guess which one we're actually choosing.
There you go. Keep your player cards close to the chest. Don't let them know anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them anything until it's actually happened. So.
Well, right on. Crumpy, thanks again for joining us for this interview. Do you have any final words for us before we step away to a break?
Yeah, actually, I want to say a great shout out to the Lazy Ostrich actually. He actually played the Katarina pretty well, and just basically the team in general, they played very well against RLS. And I wish we could replicate this win into the playoffs coming. So yeah, just great win.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. I hope you guys don't pick full Fiesta comps in the playoffs. But I mean, if you
honestly,
can pull them off like this, then just do it, man.
Honestly, I think this might happen again in the playoffs. Who knows, man? It was actually fun playing this type of team comp. It was just like good to just get out of the way, just have a good time.
And that's the beauty of the best of series, right? You can do this in game 1, and then if they have no answer for it, it's like it's
yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm thinking, or we're thinking, So just save this draft for next time.
Folks, we got it. He leaked. He's leaking strats. We got him. Crumpy, thanks again for this interview. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break with SGR Reborn versus Udyr.